Welcome back to the channel and a new video. Look at that beautiful sky in the background. How lovely is this weather? Since the last video there has been a bit of a curveball, and that is with these DV5 engines. Now I found a replacement engine for that car, van, whatever you'd like to call it, for £2.5 grand, and that is the going rate for them apparently. Anyway, I spoke to a mate of mine who deals in these vans all the time, and he says, Rob, why don't you come up here and grab this engine free of charge? It's out of a van that's done 12,000 miles, but it's sucked up water, it's flood damaged, and he said it's going to have a bent conrod in it because it was hydrolocked. Why don't you have the crank out of this one? So never look a gift horse in the mouth. This was free. I've only got to return what I don't use. I mean, he'll have back. But we are going to pull this. I've been and picked it up. We are going to pull it inside. Chris is on his way round now with a loader. We're going to pull this inside, get it on that engine stand, and actually get it upside down as quick as possible. Get the crank out of it. Check that the crank is 100%, and then that's possibly the route we're going to go down. Is put this crank in our original engine with a set of shells, new set of mains, and send it. Here he is. Let's get it in there and crack on with it.
Of course, this is all very easy to Chris, isn't it? Because he's only just done it recently, stripping the other one, so making very, very light work of getting that crank removed and that crank case, the cover there, getting it all stripped out, oil pump off, removing it so that we can get it on the bench and inspect it.
Again, I'm going to let Chris do the talking. He stripped the replacement engine and got the crank out, mate. And what do you think?
Well, it's like brand new, isn't it? I mean, I've give that a little clean up, but look at those journals. Hopefully that's showing up compared to our crank, which I don't know how well you can see that, Rob. All them score marks.
It's clear as day.
Yeah.
Especially, and if you compare the two of them sitting there like that, yeah, it's night and day, isn't it?
So that's ready to fit, but the engine's not ready to take it yet. So this needs a mass clean up. I've give it a bit of a spray off and left it overnight up the other way. But look, it's still a mess, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, but also this crank carrier needs a major clean up. So I've got the old parts washer out. I'm just running a filter through, filtering the old dirty stuff. So I'm going to wash it off with the dirty degreaser and then give it a final go over with that. But there's also the sump over there that's going to need a good clean up as well, and the oil pickup. And then there won't be a lot more we can do until we've got oil pump coming, big ends, mains, thrust,
oil seals.
Oil seal. I think the oil pump comes with the front oil seal fitted.
Yeah.
So we need a rear main oil seal you've ordered, haven't you?
Yeah.
And you've also picked up those.
Yeah, two little
bowl
caps.
Bowl caps.
Yeah.
I don't know if we covered that or not, did we? We'll probably show that
later on.
Where they go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a mass clean up now.
Just
really,
a cleaning process, yeah. And what, Chris, I've just been round and got that. £26 now that is.
Yeah.
I remember when it used to be like a tenner and it was
Yeah.
called gunk, and
Yeah.
that was real good stuff, but
Yeah.
Geyser. But Chris has still got some old cleaner in here, and like I say, he's just changed the filter, and he's also filtering it there. And he's just going to get rid of the mass of the black, dirty, horrible oil
It's going to go on.
first hand. You can see it, he's cleaned the parts cleaner, and you can see it all running out. So we get the worst off this and the sump, then we'll drain it out and go with that nice new stuff, and hopefully get this up looking beautiful before it goes back together. Right, mate, well, we'll get on with that then.
Yeah, I think so. Nothing else to add, really, is there, at this point? But,
so far, though, so good.
Yeah.
Straight in the parts washer with that casing. That is thick with gunge and dirt. It's all going to want cleaning up. And of course it is our original. It's mated to our original engine, so we want to use the original parts where we can. We know they're machined to perfection, these modern engines anyway, aren't they? And they are interchangeable, but we'd rather keep the original parts. onto the sump, that had all that black sludge in there, and we believe that's something to do with the oil, because they have changed the grade of the oil in this vehicle. It is something that's been done, and due to that previous oil actually clogging up and turning into sludge, and you could see previously that's what had happened. So getting that all cleaned up now and prepared, ready to take that new crank. This is our original engine now, back on the stand. You can see it's all built up with all of the ancillaries. So quick clean up there. Chris starts taking off that top cover. He wants to clean all that out, the rocker box cover and the breather, and then he can move on to getting that engine turned upside down and starting the process of rebuilding it.
It's definitely the first time we've ever done that on the channel. Chris said to me, Rob, there's 3 bits of time lapse there while you've been out. Cut them around and use what you want. And I thought, no, we are using the whole lot. So just really to show the appreciation of how much went into that, because although that was a minute and a half, that was 3 hours work, right, yeah, or maybe more. And I'm just going to get a bit close to your face, mate, and show, right, okay, like literally the state you've gotten in doing that.
Yeah.
I'm back now. I've got the mains, I've got the ends, I've got oil pump, cam belt, water pump kit, new seals. I've got all of the parts.
Yeah.
And it looks like, yeah, mate, far away.
We've already covered the crank. But,
yeah.
Crank carrier, all washed up. Sump all washed up.
Looks like new.
All pickup, washed, flushed. And I also took this cam carrier breather system off.
Yeah.
And I've blasted that because they have a habit of blocking up, don't they? And now that's all clear all the way through all of those. They all link up together. Okay. So that means the engine can breathe.
But it was pretty blocked up,
yeah,
you said.
Yeah, it was. So that's done. Oil filter I've removed. You don't often get a chance to drain it that way, do you? Because they're upside down. So that's draining. So yeah, pretty much ready to start assembling.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cleaned up lovely. I know we've got some sealer there. Do you want me to quickly whip round Cats, get you a brand new high temp sealer?
We'll need that when I come to make those 2 surfaces, because that has jointing compound on that lower carrier.
No gasket?
No gasket.
Just
yeah. And you can probably see on the time lapse me cleaning some of that off, because it's quite tricky. But yeah, all pretty good so far. But these, I haven't opened the packets yet. We don't want it till we right last knockings of putting it together. But there's, I don't know if that shows there, Rob. There's 5 and 5.
Yeah.
So 5 notched.
Yeah.
And 5 that aren't. So just got to make sure you get them the right way round.
I'll let you get your assembly lube and that ready, and I'll whip round and get a nice new sealer for that. And yeah, I guess let's put it back together. And
I think so. While it's all fresh in the in the head.
I was going to say and keep our fingers crossed, but I'm very, very confident. We know that was the issue, and we're replacing that issue.
That's
so
right,
right, let's do it.
So upside down we go, on with a nice bit of sealer, and you can see it is all immaculately clean in now. Over the top with the cover, and then in with those bolts. Don't forget you've got those 2 bolts right up the other end that were hidden underneath those little covers, but we'll show them in a sec when we go live, so that I can show you the little covers that are going to go on over the top.
Well, I think you was wasted, mate. You should be an engine builder. That is all back together now, ready for the sump. But just before we do you remember us previously mentioning these little caps?
Bowl caps.
Bowl caps. They was £4.
I called it a core plug.
You did, but it doesn't matter.
No,
so that's
go in there. Yeah.
So they actually go over there, and if you didn't have them in, oil would actually leak out of these, because when Chris popped them out, all
full of oil.
Full of oil. So I guess he's going to get those fitted, get the sump back on there, turn this up the correct way, fit a new
refit the rocker baffle breather.
Yeah. And then onto a cam belt, water pump, servicing it.
Yeah, which I won't bother time lapsing anymore. That
no.
Thing. It's like
definitely
a bit too much time lapse now.
Little bit repetitive, yeah. But as for service, this was very, very interesting, Chris, wasn't it?
Yep.
So this oil, I'm just going to get it out. Wasn't really prepared there. This oil, the oil for these engines has been changed due to the oil gellifying, and that is, the proof's in the pudding there. That's exactly what Chris found in that engine, jellified oil. So they will only sell you this 020 engine oil, and this was 60 odd pound. But what we have done is bought the other oil for it as well. Well, we've actually got some, and we've bought, they're in here somewhere, there they are, 2 oil filters, air filter, pollen filter and diesel filter. And we're going to do oil filter, run it up, get it up to temperature. We're then going to dump the oil, put a new oil filter in it, and then the correct oil. So I guess let's just let Chris continue building that up until he's got it all back together.
Really didn't want to record any more of putting this back together. He said, no, I'll just crack on, Rob, it's repetitive. But I did want to show you all before he slips on that last piece of the cover, the brand new timing belt kit is all fitted. Oh, well, there's the old one there. On with the oil pickup. And I think that is in fact the last bit in underneath there before the sump can go on. So just searching for the little bolts there. Chris was getting the bolts in, getting that all done up correctly, and then I think we go on with a bit of sealer and then on with the new sump. Chris is just putting those new little caps on. So alternator up, out the way, bracket back on, and air conditioning pump back on there as well, auxiliary belt all back on there, and it is starting to look like a complete engine now. As he goes, he is cleaning up every little bit that he can get to and see. So almost there with it and almost all back together, but of course all the ancillaries now are back. The turbo is all buttoned up, that's back together, and the new rear main oil seal is in there, and it is pretty much now ready to start building it back up with the clutch pack and sticking the gearbox back on the engine. New oil filter is around the other side. That's all in there. They are quite a nuisance to get to when they're in the car, but that's in there. And of course, like I said earlier, we are going to be changing that once we run this up to temperature anyway. So we are going to continue on, get this clutch fit. So onto the engine hoist. We're nowhere nearly there. In a minute, we'll lower this down and we'll actually get that gearbox mated to the engine. Nice and easy to do on the floor with just a little bit of tension off on the engine hoist. You can see we've got it on there. Chris works around the back getting the start motor fitted. I'll work around the front getting the bell housing bolts, and before you know it, it is all back together and in one piece.
Right, all preparation done there. Chris has just put an extra couple of shackles on the left hand side of the engine just to even it up, because it's got the gearbox on it. Obviously the weight distribution changed considerably, but that is all back together, and we're just going to take our time slowly, because it is a Sunday today.
It is Sunday.
We're here on a Sunday.
We are.
Right.
Needs must, eh?
Yeah, you ready, mate?
Yep. We're probably a bit low, aren't we?
Yeah.
So,
it won't hurt to get it in the hole though, a little bit low, I shouldn't think. In fact, I'm going to have to get you to thread all that through to me.
Do you want the light under?
No, I was under here so long the other day, I kind of know where it is now.
Right. It's one of them ones where you need like...
3 hands.
Yeah. It's in.
Yeah.
Right. That's nice. Get on that one.
I'm only trying to show that we're here doing it. Someone said you got a load of mechanics in that spare room over there.
Some days.
Yeah.
I wish we had.
Yeah, be nice,
yeah.
wouldn't it? Right, hold it there a minute, mate. I think I'll concentrate on getting that gearbox mount on, shall I?
Yeah, 100%.
Right, you got that?
Yep. Right, we've got a little bit to come down first. So I'll go on the lift, you go on that, yeah?
Yep.
Down you go. Hold it there. Right, that's on that one. I'll just put them in there.
Go on, give me a.
I'm just going to throw them. Right. get us a socket and bar for them, please. Plastic engine mount, though, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nuts, mate. Oh, Chris, yeah. Sorry, mate. Yeah, yeah.
I'll
pull
just
it
get him
out.
started. Yeah, she's in. We go loose though, because I
Yeah.
haven't got that back one in yet. That was the same, wasn't it?
The wings, that Citroen.
Yeah. Go on, a little bit more. That'll do you.
Don't forget, you're just sitting on that axle stand.
Yeah. What I need you to do, Rob, is
Yeah.
probably come and push the engine this way slightly. If you can. That's one in.
Let's start.
Yep. Just give that a little sprint. That's it. Ooh.
Too much?
No, no, that's nice. Yes. Right.
That's more like it.
I'll finish that sec.
Yeah.
That
Can come off, can't
Well,
it?
we got that bottom stabiliser one.
Yeah, we can rock the engine for that, can't we?
Yeah, so that's it. Then.
Let's get this out, and then we'll try and get that linkage in. The gear linkage. That's it, mate.
Lower one.
Uh-huh.
Once that's in, all the DPF can go on, can't I? I can do all the clutch DPF that I took off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I suppose we're cut in, aren't we?
We're rolling.
I know, but you
yeah.
know what I mean. We're sort
Yeah.
of take her up a bit.
Hang on, I ain't got them bolts in there, have I? But it can't go nowhere now, can it?
There's that other one there, isn't there?
Yeah, up you go, mate. Right, hold it there. Where I've got it.
Right.
Got it?
Yeah.
That's it, hold it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in.
What 3/8?
Cheers.
Well, I can't see the 16 spanner.
Oh, we'll have a pop the salt out in a minute.
Oh, where? Right.
Tell you what, mate, I ain't looking
No,
too sad, is it?
starts coming together now, doesn't it? There's
I'm going to build up this whole side, but I need to get everything out of the car first.
oh, you've put the earth on.
The earth's on.
Yeah.
The pipe. I've done everything behind there,
Yeah.
so that we ain't got to go back to it.
Nice.
Because that little, you know, that little gear change cable, it's on a plastic thing that
That's
has to
right,
slot into a
that's right,
bracket.
yeah.
Then it's got a dowel that
bolt.
has to locate, and then a dowel. That's what I was tapping to get it back a little bit.
Right, that's that in.
That can go in there.
That one can go in there.
Then like this, ECU, that one
We
bolts
don't
behind
want to
there.
that home really, because we're going to take the oil filter back out, aren't we? So that one there. That'll go in the rad. So that one comes up through there to your, well, to the battery.
Yeah,
and
all
that.
of this is, honestly, it goes in a
That's-
certain
that's
order.
Right. So, I
Down
can
a bit.
I can do DPF, can't I?
Yeah, but I do need to come down a bit because I can't
Yeah,
work at
come
this height.
bring her down, Johnny.
Do you want, right, this is where we're at with it. Cup of coffee and change of gloves time.
Yeah.
It is now back on. All three of its mounts, all fixed down there, all fixed down that side, and the rear mount underneath it's all good to go. I've already started fitting up behind here, so gear selector cables, earth cable, water hoses, and Chris just wants to carry on and start building it up. He's getting it ready straight on with the DPF filter, and I'm going to continue to put all of this back together here.
Fuel pipes are on. There's not loads this side, Rob, is there?
No.
Really? It's
Fuel
mainly
pipes,
all
water
that,
pipes.
It's mainly all that side, isn't it? And
Well, that
yeah,
DPF.
yeah.
Well, mate, I guess let's just crack on and get this one back together, because
So quite self-explanatory here. This is the side that I worked on when we took it apart, so I'm going to stay there to put it back together. Chris, again, he took off the DPF, he's going to stay there and he's going to fit that back up. And once again, it is fresh in our memories because all of this was done very, very recently.
I often say, how do you make an omelette without breaking eggs? And Chris does agree with me. Without showing that you've done a job with the time lapse, unfortunately, you've got to have it on there. But we did stop, and you can see we made huge progress. We've got all the drive shafts fitted, the lower arms are back in, the coolant system is completely fitted, buttoned up, and we have filled it as well. We've got 4 litres of oil in there, the battery's back on, you can hear it buzzing. Gearbox is full of oil. Now, people are going to say, you don't normally put the rad pack in them, guys, when you're building them back up, and that is quite true. But because we went brand new water pump with this, we didn't want to run it dry, did we? No. So we've chucked coolant in there.
We've kind of checked for leaks before we put any more back on.
That's right.
So.
Well, we're putting it off standing out here, mate. Jump in.
Yeah, worrying, isn't it?
It is, but don't forget, if this works, we saved £1,500 to £2,000 on an engine.
Yeah, I think they were more than that, weren't they, when you was looking?
Oh, actually, there was, weren't they? Yeah, what am I talking about? 2.5, £3,000.
Well, we won't do the numbers, but we ain't spent a great deal, have we?
No.
Right, mate.
Does the clutch feel all right still? Because you took the...
Yeah, that feels fine. Right.
It's going to take a while because it's completely out of diesel. Look at the smile on your face. You are actually grinning.
I'm worried.
No, don't be.
Right.
Hasn't cost us.
It's going to really smoke.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah, but there we go.
Well, that didn't sound too clever, did it?
No. Go again.
Gone quiet now, it's got oil pressure.
Yeah,
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
How weird was that change? Let me cut there and get you some extra power, yeah?
Yeah, I suppose because all the fuel lines have been bled.
You got faults?
No, I'm just thinking I'll go again, see if it fire up.
Okay.
It's diesel.
Sounds lovely now.
Yeah, and the oil light's gone out.
Oh, is it?
So it's got oil pressure now.
Chris, let's just roll, mate, till the battery dies. Honestly, just go for it.
Is there any leaks underneath?
Nothing, not a thing leaking out of it anywhere.
I'm just thinking, double check we got everything plugged back in.
Mate, I double checked, you double checked.
They should have gone by now, shouldn't it?
It's been completely apart though.
Yeah, but they should have fired by now. I
Right,
think we maybe got something unplugged.
Let's have a quick look, another look over it, mate. This is out there scratching his head. I'm just going to run a quick scan on it. It has got a couple of faults on it, so we're going to get them cleared down and then go for it again.
Just to show you I was doing it here, so from 1% to 100%, a little scan on the computer.
Went over, just double checked everything, and it all looks like it's in, but it come up on there, all 4 injectors at fault, but where they wasn't plugged in, but they have been, and we haven't had the ignition on, so you just
Right.
yeah.
I suppose all we can do is fault code, read it again,
Yeah.
and see what comes up now.
It's got all of its original, and we haven't actually touched any of the wiring, so I guess,
No.
yeah, we're going to have to do a bit of fault finding. The only trouble is, I hate stopping because I want it to happen so that we see it when everyone else sees it. You know, when it fires into
Yeah,
life.
yeah,
It is.
that's right.
It's a shame that it can't always happen like that.
No.
So I'll let you finish that scan and then we'll have a
Automatic
look.
braking system fault. A bumper's not plugged in.
No,
That won't affect it.
I don't think that's going to stop it from running. No.
Let's give it 3 lots of.
Prime.
Yeah.
All we've done is plugged the front bumper in, cleared the codes down,
Right.
and I guess we've double checked everything. We're just assuming that it is not, the diesel's not up there yet, so we're just going to have to keep trying.
That's odd, isn't it?
Not even trying. Go again.
It's like it's out of fuel, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're going to have to pull a fuel pipe, aren't we?
Go
Although
again.
We're not getting low fuel pressure come up on
No.
the thing. So
Go again quickly. Yeah, not even trying, is it?
Sounds nice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sounds like compression's good.
Sounds perfect, mate. Right, let's dig into it.
Scan it again.
You can do, yeah. I'm going to have a good look round out here. He's currently in the driving seat there on the computer, and he's on live data and there's no fuel pressure. So even though, I mean, some people wouldn't agree with this. Go on, mate. Yeah. There is some bubbles there.
Yeah.
Give that a try anyway. Yay!
Yes.
Sounds sweet as a nut. That's all it was. Bit of air in there, isn't it? Isn't that mad?
Sounded like that though, didn't it?
Tell you what though, there's no...
No. And it just shows you, doesn't it, that on a fault code scan, that didn't come up as low pressure.
No, it didn't.
But on the live data, we had no fuel rail pressure. Oh, that's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah. Nearly tripped over then. Let that warm up, 5 minutes, mate.
We'll
and
let it warm, and then
Yeah.
we're going to dump that dirty oil.
dump the oil, change the filter.
Well, that oil, new oil, that
Yeah.
will have a bit of discolour to it now.
Mate, I'll tell you what, honestly though, I think that's enough. Don't you?
What, for this video?
Yeah.
Well, it is Sunday.
It is Sunday, isn't it?
afternoon, and the sun is shining.
It is, isn't it? I want to
So,
get out on my bike. Guys, that
yeah.
is going to be the end of today's video. If you did enjoy it, we would appreciate that thumbs up. Follow Chris on Instagram, Salvage Rebuilds. Chris, follow us on Instagram at Salvage Rebuilds. If that ain't worth a like, subscribe and share, I don't know what is. We'll see you very, very soon in the next one.